So Facebook is on the decline and YouTube is about to become the #1 most used social media platform in the entire world. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about why all real estate agents absolutely need a YouTube channel in 2023, and I'm going to give you 10 reasons to back that up in this video. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I put out content like this all the time. And if you don't know me, I'm the founder and CEO of Agent Launch, and we send real estate agents into marketing orbit and or space through our unique process where we allow you to not only generate leads, but actually convert them into real business. And we're one of the only companies out there that's blended a traditional marketing agency with a coaching program. So if you want to learn more, check out our website, agentlaunch.com, or you can go to agentlaunch.com/apply to work with us. But without further ado, let's dive into the content of this video. First is YouTube is absolutely massive. I've already touched on this a little bit, but it is going to surpass Facebook. Facebook has actually begun its decline, and this didn't happen that long ago, but it has begun its decline. Now, YouTube is set to surpass it. I don't know if it'll happen this year or next year, but it's gonna happen very soon, and YouTube will take it over with 2.562 billion monthly active users. That is absolutely crazy. A lot of people use YouTube every single month. So, number 2, YouTube has no competition. Think about it. What is YouTube's competition? They don't have it. What's Facebook's competition? Well, you could argue Instagram competes with Facebook, even though it's the same company. You could argue TikTok competes with Facebook. There's Snapchat. There's a lot of other social media platforms out there that have traditionally competed with Facebook, but nobody competes with YouTube. It really has no competition. There used to be Google videos. That's the only thing I can think of that was even close, but then Google bought YouTube, so they just, blended the two together. So it doesn't really have competition. Like if you want to watch videos on the internet, you generally go to YouTube. If you want to learn how to do something, you generally go to YouTube. You want to fix something specific in your car, you can probably find that out on YouTube. You want to fix something around your house, you can probably learn that on YouTube. You want to watch the news, you can do that on YouTube. You can pretty much do everything on YouTube, and that's the craziest part, is they're just getting started in my perspective. Just wait until YouTube TV grows. They have so much stuff up their sleeve that makes them very unique, and they just have no competition. So important to think about, because if you're investing right now in TikTok and other platforms, those types of platforms traditionally have a lot of competition, right? And so TikTok's faced some scrutiny around regulation. It's a question mark. Is that always going to be there? I don't know. I don't personally have a whole lot of trust in it. I don't personally resonate with the platform that much. So YouTube, for me, I resonate with a lot because it's an education first platform. It's a teaching first platform. When you go to YouTube, you generally go to learn something. I like that over the showy, look at my life and everything I do type of content. So that's one reason just I like it as a personal level. Number 3, YouTube is slowly but surely replacing TV. Now, YouTube TV is really only in the US right now, but there's 1 billion hours watched per day of YouTube. If you look at the trends in the world, you have to look at the fact that the young people and the youth in the world are watching YouTube. They're not really watching cable television anymore. So you got to pay attention to the trends, and that's really where things are going. Number 4 is YouTube is highly, highly, highly targeted. Now, imagine if you could put yourself in front of someone who goes on YouTube and searches, what's it like to live in Victoria, BC? Generally speaking, if you make a video like 5 pros and 5 cons of living in your city, and someone goes onto YouTube and they literally search, what is it like to live in your place? You have an opportunity to show them what it's like to live there and be the first person to do that. Now, that's a really unique opportunity because most types of lead generation, most types of times when you meet people, you don't have that first opportunity to do this, right? And it's really important to understand that you have this golden opportunity to be an authority, to showcase what it's like to live in a city that someone doesn't know what it's like to live in. And generally, these types of people are out of town buyers. Generally, these types of people are out of town buyers that you tend to attract with these types of videos. I will say this, quick pause. The only way to get better at YouTube if you're starting out is through repetition. It's the only way. Only way you're gonna get good at YouTube is through doing it over and over and over again. But the only way that's better than that is repetition with a feedback loop. So that's what we provide our clients at Agent Launch is I actually watch all your videos with you and I give you targeted critical feedback on what you need to improve on for your next videos. And that's the only way you can really excel at a fast pace. Most of my clients, when we work together, it's after 3, 4, or 5 videos, they're night and day from their first video. So it's important to understand that the only way to do YouTube well is just to do it a lot. There's no shortcut around that, except for having a feedback loop will help expedite that process from someone who knows what they're talking about. But if you know someone who does YouTube, I promise you, they will tell you there's no better lead than a YouTube lead. Why? Because most people will come to you and they'll say, hey, I've watched all your videos. I feel like I know you. I get this all the time. YouTube really does paint you as not only an authority, but it allows people to kind of feel out who you are. And it's by by the time they actually talk to you, they're probably already actually sold on you as a real estate agent. You just need to confirm to them that you are who they think you are, and you're not some YouTube weirdo who like presents well on camera but is actually really awkward in person. And those people exist. If you get that opportunity to be first, you have that opportunity to build enough trust with that person that they don't even go searching elsewhere. And so it's a really cool opportunity, but it takes time. So it's highly, highly, highly targeted with your ideal client, which is people looking to live in your area, right? Another cool fact about YouTube is its cost recovery. My YouTube channel in 2020 did $23,201 in revenue. That's YouTube's revenue sharing platform. If you don't know how this works, you need 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of watch time. I think it's like 1,000 hours of watch time to get into their revenue sharing or partner program, they call it. Then you can start sharing revenue with them for the ads they run on your channel. Now, my channel doesn't make this much anymore because I used to make somewhat more broad content, like general tutorials on marketing and stuff like that. I've decided, and I recommend this to all my clients, is getting way more niche with your content, way more specific of who you're trying to reach. And in my case, I'm trying to reach real estate agents. I'm a real estate agent. I own a real estate marketing coaching company. So it makes sense for me to do that. That's why I'm creating videos about real estate. The point is, if you make big enough content, and I have clients and I have friends in the industry who are making real estate content and some of their videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views. Like I have plenty on my channel that do 100, 150,000 views. Those individual videos can make you like 15 grand, 10 grand in some cases. I have certain videos that made me like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And if you scale that out to millions of views, I mean, the opportunity is pretty big, especially if you're in a big city and you get a big video that takes off and you rank #1. Like I have people I know who have like videos with 250,000 views. It can happen, right? Especially when you give it enough time. But the point is, you can make money from YouTube that will cover your costs of making YouTube videos. And that's the point I want to make. It's cost recovering. So at a certain scale, your YouTube videos can pay for your editing, your equipment, whatever else you need to make YouTube videos. Generally, that's it. You need a basic set of equipment. And I'm not going to get into how to make videos. I have another video on my channel. I'll actually link that here. If you want to make videos, check that out. It's a 10-step process on exactly how to go about making good videos. But all you really need is a reasonable setup and then just a willingness to repeat the process over and over again. If you do it for long enough, it can become cost recovering, which is really cool. Now, the next point is YouTube is evergreen. So this is one of my favorite things about YouTube. A lot of people think YouTube is hard because it's harder to make a YouTube video. And yes, it's harder to make a YouTube video than it is to make an Instagram reel, for example. However, an Instagram reel literally lasts for like 2 or 3 days in most cases, often not even that. YouTube videos last years. So look at this video. I published this on April 13th, 2022. The time of recording this video, it is March 14th, 2023. So that is 11 months, right? Now look at the line graph of viewership. It is literally straight up. I published this video 11 months ago and it is still gaining views, right? This video made me $1,500. It's still gaining views, still getting people watching it because it's in the algorithm. YouTube knows people like this video. They tend to watch the whole thing. It has really good analytics behind it. It's just a good video. I teach a lot of valuable stuff in this video if you want to learn Google Ads. But if you do, I recommend not watching this one because I actually just made a new one a few weeks back. So make sure you watch the new one for 2023. But the point is, YouTube videos are evergreen. They will last years and they will work for you in the background while you eat, while you sleep, while you go out on the weekend. Doesn't matter what you do. Your videos are working for you in the background. It's a really cool feeling when that happens. So this is the question I want to ask you is, what's the value per hour invested into content? Because you can invest maybe half the time, a quarter of the time in an Instagram piece of content, but that's going to last 2 or 3 days. But if you invest, 3, 4 times the amount of energy into a YouTube video, but it lasts you 100, 200, 300 times online and it works for you so much harder, like what is the value per hour of your content? YouTube's evergreen. That's one of my favorite parts about it. The other thing is YouTube's compounding. So the more YouTube videos you make, the more they actually feed each other. So if you look at my channel, like every time I make a new video on a new subject, I'm hitting new keywords. I'm showing up in new searches. I'm hitting new audiences. And what happens is someone might watch my video on ChatGPT. If you haven't seen my video on that, go watch it. But someone might come into my channel from watching that video and be like, hey, I like what I saw. I'm gonna go to this guy's channel and I'm gonna watch some more of his videos. So it compounds. What I mean by that is like the more videos you have on different subjects, the more broad of a net you're putting out there for people in your target audience. And basically people have an entry point into your channel. Usually this is how it works. works. People have one video they find from you somewhere, a recommended video, a search term, the homepage, maybe their friends send it to them. So they have that entry point into your channel, and then they go watch a lot of your other videos. And like I said before, this happens all the time. When people come to me on a sales call or something like that, and they say, Eric, I feel like I know you. And my clients have experienced this as well. The point is that they compound, and the more videos you have out there, the more they compound together. And so over time, there's a really great return on that. Number 8, YouTube builds authority. Now, I wanna say this very honestly. I feel very qualified and very confident in what I do and what I teach and what I know. But I didn't always feel that way. Now, I started public speaking, I think it was 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. And I remember really getting on stage and not feeling like I knew anything. The thing I learned really quickly was that people will believe you just because you're on stage. People assume you know what you're talking about because you're on stage. And YouTube is a stage. So I wanna say this very, very honestly. Just because you're on YouTube, people assume you know what you're talking about. It's very true. I genuinely feel strongly that I know what I'm talking about. I'm experienced. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of agents. I have 150 plus active clients right now. I do know what I'm talking about. But even if I didn't, you would give me more credibility just because you're watching me on YouTube right now. And that's a real fact. And I noticed this when I didn't even feel like I knew that much about what I was talking about when I first started public speaking. I was still learning. But just because I was speaking in front of the audience, people assumed I knew what I was talking about. So YouTube builds authority. It's important to understand that, because just because you're on YouTube, just because you have viewership and some subscribers, people will give you just a little bit more credibility. It's a bias we all have. That's why people buy fake followers. People will buy fake Instagram followers. They'll buy fake engagement a lot of times. This is a real thing. Like if you go to someone's Instagram profile and they have 100,000 followers, but all of their reels get like 1,000 views or 500 views, it's likely they might have bought fake followers. But you're gonna look at them and you're gonna say, wow, this guy must be the real deal, or this girl must be the real deal. They have 100,000 followers. Not always the case. YouTube's not really a place where people do that, because if you buy subscribers on YouTube, it's a really bad idea, because your videos, nobody will watch them and they won't rank. Like most of your viewership on YouTube actually doesn't come from your subscribers. It's important to understand that. It comes from people searching your videos being recommended. Generally, that's a bad practice. Don't do it. The point I'm trying to make is just because someone has followers or subscribers or viewership or is on a platform, people give you more authority. Another thing I love about YouTube is YouTube can become your social media strategy. What do I mean by this? Well, I always recommend making content for a specific platform. I also always recommend becoming a master of one instead of a jack of all trades. The net return you're gonna get being incredible at YouTube. Like I just brought on a client who his business is 100% YouTube. He does 45 deals a year, 100% YouTube. That's all he does. And so I'm like, cool, that's awesome. He's not trying to be anything else. He's just way better at YouTube than everyone else. And the compounding returns of just being so good at one thing are so much higher than trying to be reasonable at everything. Because there's this pervasive myth in real estate that you just need to get yourself out there and you just need to like be on all platforms. Not the best strategy. But if you do want to be on other platforms, you can focus on making long form YouTube content, chop that up into 4 or 5 short form pieces of content. We do this all the time. You can check them out on Instagram, and then put that content onto Facebook, onto Instagram, onto TikTok, whatever. And if you chop it up right, you can create pretty engaging content. And so long form YouTube can become your short form strategy in a really cool way. And lastly, one of my favorite things about YouTube is it's easy to link to. You can just take a link of a YouTube video and send it to someone. What can you do with that? Well, you can prospect leads with it. And this is a really important point. So here's a good example of one of my clients. This is a text. So you can take a video and you can say something like, hey Jason, I noticed you were searching for homes in Kona a lot lately. So I just wanted to send you a quick video on some of the things many buyers aren't aware of when buying in Kona. Let me know if this was helpful. Boom, here's a YouTube video. What a great way to prospect a lead who doesn't know you. Say, hey, I noticed you're searching for property share. Let me show you a great video of things you may not know about here in Hawaii. Like they have lava zones. They have all these other things that people from the mainland probably wouldn't understand or know about. And then you have an opportunity to teach them something, build trust with them. And they're like, wow, this guy really knows his stuff. I'm gonna call him, right? We're really big on this at Agent Launch in our sales training calls every week. We always talk about how to leverage video, like how to get over smoke screens and objections on the phone by leveraging video. Like if people give you the hand in the face, like, hey, I'm not ready to talk to someone. Hey, no worries. I understand you're probably really early in your process. I'm just here to meet you where you're at. Would it be helpful at this stage in your journey if I sent you a video on the best neighborhoods to invest in X? Likely they're gonna say, yeah, go ahead and send me that. Great, can I just confirm your phone number? I'd love to send you that in a text. Confirm confirm their phone number, send it over. Now you've started a conversation over text message. They're likely gonna watch your video when you're on the fly or something like that. And if they like your video, they're now a little bit warmed up to you, and it also gives you a reason to follow. I'm a big proponent of using your videos to prospect in the sales process. Video is a fantastic way to crack open a lot of people who might otherwise have a big wall up for you. So really important stuff, but either way, guys, that's what I got for you today. If you haven't already started a YouTube channel, highly recommend doing so. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want to work with me directly at Agent Launch through our Done For You program combined with coaching, we have 6 or 7 calls every single week. We have a whole suite of Done For You services, from video editing to Google advertising to systems builds. We do a lot under one roof, and that's because I think it requires a lot to make this stuff work at a really high level. So anyways, you can go to agentlaunch.com/apply to check us out, and I'll see you in the next video.